Yo everybody, my name is Chris Punsalan. Welcome back to another video. So Logic just released a new album called Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, and I wanted to make a beat inspired by the album. So for today's reference, we're gonna use Homicide featuring Eminem, and the first thing I did was tap out the tempo. So now we're working at 137 BPM, and I started with the drums. Surprise, I didn't use a drum loop for this. I actually built out the drums for this one, and the first thing I started with was the kick and snare pattern. On the kick, I just have some distortion, and on the snare, I just have one knob brighter. And at the end of every 4 bars, I have another snare layered on top of the main snare, like a high reverb snare, just to give it a new texture and just to make it more interesting. Moving on to the hi-hats, so in the Homicide record, it's just a consistent 1/8 pattern hi-hat, so I drew that out first. And then sporadically throughout the beat, there's some like triplets and some like fast hi-hat rolls, so I added those in, and I also threw on some auto pan on the hi-hat rolls just to make it go left and right in the stereo field, and that's actually the first time I've ever used that term, so there you go. Then I moved on to the bells, and it took me so long to find the right preset. I don't know how to build synths from scratch. Like, I don't know how to tweak the sounds. I'm not a sound designer, so I just go through presets. I went through like a million presets in Analog Lab 3, couldn't find one, so I threw in Omnisphere and eventually landed on this bell sound, and I played this bell melody. Moving on to the bass, so I pulled up Trillion. I first found this sound, and instantly I knew that was gonna be the texture that I was gonna throw on top of the sub part of the bass, just to give the bass more character and just to make it sound a lot fuller. So I duplicated that, changed the sound, and picked a different preset in Trillion, a more subby sounding bass, and I built this bass pattern. Then I added some chords using a choir in Omnisphere. And the last thing I did for this beat was make the intro, and in the Homicide record, it starts off with some synth pads or synth keys, so I threw that in. And then I threw in this filtered drum pattern. What I did was I first built the pattern with these drum sounds. Then I threw on this plugin called Redux on Ableton. I guess it's just to make it sound more like 8-bit-ish, kinda. And then I cut out the lows and rolled off the highs, and that's how I made the intro. And that's the entire beat. Kept it super simple, very minimal layers, super easy to mix because there wasn't that many things going on, and it's just open for a rapper or a singer to hop on and do their thing. I made a sample version of this. It's basically the entire thing with no drums, so if you want to flip it, add some things, or make your own beat with it, you can. I also made a drum loop version, so if you want the drums from this session, it's available down in the description, or you can head straight to chrispunsalan.com. Comment below if you've listened to the new Logic album, or if you don't like Logic, and please leave a good reason why you don't like his music in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.